So we've come to the last part of improvisation, part number 5, and today we are going to learn how to take a small melody. We'll basically choose 4 target notes and we'll slowly improvise solo over the backing track. So we'll do it step by step, and please understand that this is going to be of a beginner level improvisation. So it might sound pretty basic, but this is for absolute beginners. If you have no idea how to improvise over chord changes, then this is how you do it. So basically we'll take the G, C, D and G progression, our favorite 4-bar progression, and so far we've been playing the root notes for all the chords, and the 3rd note for all the chords, and 5th note for all the chords. Now what we'll do is we'll try to mix and match different target notes for different chords. If you do that at the same time for all the chords, it might get a little confusing. So what we'll do is we'll take, like I mentioned, these chords, and we'll take the root notes for all the chords, which is G, C, D and G, what we played initially in part 1. So first thing what we have done is we have chosen 4 target notes, and since we have played this already, so we'll take one chord out of the progression. In this example, I'll take the first chord, which is G. We usually play G over the G major chord. So instead what I'll do is I'll choose a different target note for a G. You can choose anything between a G, B and D. We have played G already, so I'll choose a B. So when I hear a G, I'll play a B note. When I hear a C, I'll play the C note, root note. And for a D, root note. And for the last G, I'll end with a G. So it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll try it over a backing track. Last G, we'll play the B again. See how the melody changes. So what we basically did was we changed one target note over the chord changes, and it already sounded like we came up with a different melody. Now what can be done is we'll choose a different target note for the second chord. So for a G, we played the B. Now for a C major, instead of playing the C, we'll play any note that's in a C major chord, which is C, E, G. So we already played the C. We'll go ahead with the E or the G note. So in this case, I'll choose a G note, the 5th. So I'll be playing 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, and I can either stop with C or B. We'll try both. We'll try it over the backing track. So choosing a different target note brings out different melodies, and there are a lot of other combinations that you can do. So take this as your first step. So next step what we do is we'll add slides on whichever notes that you feel like you want to play slides. So I'll be playing slide for the first chord, and I'll be playing slide for the 3rd chord as well. So I'll instead of playing B like that, I'll play a slide and then play B. And for the next chord, C major, I'll play the G. And for the D major, I'll play D here, but I'll slide it in and then finish with the last chord. I can either finish with G or B, any chord note. We'll try it over the backing track. that was an easy step, wasn't it? Now we'll move on to the third step, which is take the last note in the progression, which is the last bar G. We usually play the G or B. What you can do is, you can play that in the next octave. So I'll be playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, and instead of playing this G, I'll be playing the next octave G. So we'll try this over the backing track. Try adding slides though. And like we did already, instead of stopping with the next G, you can stop with the next octave B too. So try to set different target notes for each chord. Do it one chord at a time, and you can add slides to the notes and finish the last note with a different octave. Now what we'll do is we'll try to play two notes in a bar. We've already done it. We usually play the first third or the third fifth or the fifth nth root. We've tried that in the previous few parts. Now again, if you do this for all the chords at the same time, then it might get a little confusing. So what I would suggest is pick one particular chord. We'll again go with the first chord, for example. We already know to play the root, third and fifth, and the fifth and root again over the chord changes, but we'll try something different today. So over a G major chord, you can set the target note as B. So you can either play the target note from its previous note, which is A and B, or you can play the target note from C to B, the next note of the target note to the target note, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. So depending on whichever notes you choose, the feel of the solo is going to change again. So we'll just give it a try over the backing track. So that sounded a little different than the previous sequence that we played, isn't it? Now what we'll do is we'll add two notes for the third chord, which is D major. We played two notes for G, one note for C, and now we'll play two notes for D and end with one note for a G again. So I'll play 1, 2, 3, 4, and for a C major I'll play the C, and D major target note. The target note is a D. To make it really easy, we can choose a note before D or after D. So play C and D or E and D. So this is just to give you a basic example of what are the note combinations you can play over the chord. You can choose any note that's inside the scale, G major scale, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. So basically the target note is a D. So we can play any note that's inside the scale and come back to the target note. So we'll try this over the backing track. It's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. So again, now you get a fair idea about how to slowly improvise. What we did initially was we selected a few target notes, we added slides, and we ended the last note in a different octave. And now we added two notes in a bar, and we actually came up with a better sounding melody starting from a very small sequence. So you can try this with a lot of other target notes. You can have your own combinations, try to come up with your own sequence. Try to improvise step by step, do it really slow. So So we'll get an idea of where these notes are and what these notes can do over the chord changes. So the basic idea here is to listen to a lot of music because it will definitely affect the way you frame your solos. Because when you listen to music, basically your brain registers intervals and patterns, and the more and more you listen to it, the more ideas you get when you listen to chord change. And slowly we can try and implement that in your playing. And it's also very important to listen to a lot of different types of music. You'll have to try and listen to possibly all the genres you can. And if you need any suggestions for different kinds of music, you can inbox me on Facebook. I'll suggest you a lot of songs, a lot of different songs, unique songs, or creepy ones that you can listen to, because it's going to help you a lot in phrasing your solos in a different way.